There are some mobile games out there with non-stop action. I'm talking about games that you can't put down because they are that intense. I have 15 games for you today, one of which I am extremely excited about that I'm going to start out today's list with. The game drops literally tomorrow. I'm looking forward to sharing all these games with you because every single one is that I have personally played and would enjoy jumping into again right now. So let's get into my list of 15 and see if you like them. We are starting out today's list with Warframe. This game has been out on PC for 11 years and has now made its way to mobile. With this being said, it's one of my most favorite PC games on Steam of all time. With a free-to-play model that's going to translate over well to mobile, we have a cross-platform title that has already been proven to be an amazing game. We're talking about a looter shooter here where you can build out your Warframes to take on all different battle situations in a very fast-paced, high-action game that I think is going to be one of the best that drops this year. This one releases on the 20th of February. Next up, we have Fog MOBA Battle Royale. This is an action RPG style game with a top-down perspective, but it's a battle royale game. You dive into the world with absolutely nothing but your basic attacks. You unlock boxes to find some stuff, and you take down enemies to grab their loot. There's also big PvE enemies to battle as well, which will give you some good stuff. The game is actually so much fun, and it has that MMO or that action RPG look to it that I particularly like. This is one of my favorite games that's really casual and easy to jump into. Now, speaking of action RPGs, if you're looking for one that is in the whole anime scene, Punishing Gray Raven is an amazing option. You have a really beautiful game, obviously dressed up in anime with combat that is intense and fast. There are only 2 games on today's list that are anime-inspired action RPGs. This is one of them that I would very highly recommend. It's a lot of fun. It's going to keep you going. Fennec Arena is up next, another top-down style game, but what I like about this one are there are many different game modes. You have Battle Royale, you have MOBAs, and more. It's a very Brawl Stars-like game, but with many different game modes and much bigger maps. You also could have larger parties of players that play together. This used to be an NFT-style game, but this seems to have since removed itself from that space, and you could just play now as a normal game. It was always enjoyable and still is. There's so much different content, different characters you could unlock, and different game modes you could play that the action is literally never going to stop. Today you want to play a MOBA, tomorrow you want to play Battle Royale, the day after you want to play some team deathmatch. This one has you covered. Absolutely a ton of fun. And then we have Blaze Blue. This game is quite a bit different. It looks like a fighter and it plays like a fighter, but they're calling it an action RPG. Either way, it is much more like a fighter style game, action-packed, absolutely a ton of fun. The characters look great, and it's one of the 2 fighters that we're featuring on today's list. This is one that's a little bit newer and a lot of people are really excited about. Let me know if you want to see more about Warframe. The game is going to be incredible. I'm going to be playing it myself. Maybe I'll share a video with you guys here on the channel as well. Let me know if you'd like to see it. Now, Aethergazer is the other action RPG game with the anime skin to it that I think is incredible. This is the newer of the 2 mentioned on today's list, an absolutely stunning game with combat that is, to be honest, unmatched in the genre, and just really, really fast-paced, non-stop. If you like to just go slay, button mash, have a lot of fun with some gorgeous graphics, and you love the whole anime thing, this is going to be your game. Punishing Gray Raven is also quite good, but Aethergazer kind of steps it up to the next level. Absolutely amazing game that I've enjoyed personally, and I think you would as well. Devil May Cry Peak of Combat. This game released about a month or 2 ago and takes the Devil May Cry franchise, brings it over to mobile. The combat is just about as fast as it gets. Super fast, super fun, great combos. The graphics are also stunning on mobile. The issue here is the monetization method that they went with for the game is not my favorite. We've actually seen quite a bit of complaints from the community regarding how the game is monetized. Now, possibly this is because players are used to the game on console and they're not used to that heavier monetization method that we see often on mobile, and possibly it's because it's just a little bit overdone. That's for you to tell. But the combat system is fun. You have multiple different characters that you could swap between while you fight, which is actually a great characteristic of Devil May Cry. I like the game. I think it's a lot of fun, and if you want action, it's got action. Now, I only brought 2 shooters to the list here today, one of them being Shadowgun Legends, which is one of my 2 favorite shooters of all time. Here you have a PvE/VP style game that kind of is a lot like Destiny 2, but on mobile. You could really upgrade your characters and fit them to be the way you want them to look. You have great graphics inside of the game. The gameplay is amazing and not at all pay to win, and it's just a game that's been around for a while, but still crushes every single month. It is a niche game with a smaller community that is obviously growing over time, but the game is, in my opinion, probably the best shooter on mobile. Shadowgun Legends. Give it a shot. Now, how do you go from a game like that to a game like Zuba? Well, I'll tell you what, although Zuba is very cartoony, it's a battle royale style game that is high in intensity and is actually a ton of fun. Yes, it is themed a little bit more child friendly, but it's such a great game that's enjoyable with the different characters that you can unlock, all with different skills and abilities that you are gonna kind of strive to obtain as you play. The game is fast and fun. All right, I lied. I actually have 3 shooter games on today's list. Rena Breakout is probably the newest of all of them, and here you have a looter shooter style survival game where you're going to be using some real life weapons in combat that is a little bit more strategic, a little bit slower, but definitely going to keep you on the edge of your seat. I think the game looks incredible, and it's really one of the best and newest shooter games out right now. Yeah, you should try this one too. And then we have Diablo Immortal, which is actually my favorite game that I'm playing right now. Diablo Immortal is an action-packed RPG game that is just completely filled with many different game modes that you could play, many different characters you could play as, and just has intense action throughout. If you like action RPG games, if you played Diablo in the past and you're looking for a new style Diablo game to play on mobile, there's no better option than Diablo Immortal. It's literally the best thing that you could play right now. The graphics are stunning as well inside of the game, with tons of different beasts and monsters that you find along the way. The footage you're looking at is actually from my iPad, which is a trash iPad. The graphics are so much better when you play it on a more realistic modern day phone, or even if you play it on PC, because there is a PC client as well. If you're interested in playing Diablo Immortal, I actually have a second YouTube channel called Echo Gaming Diablo. Feel free to join me over there and jump into the content that I put out every single day, featuring all the new things coming to this game all the time. Now let's get to the other fighting game that I wanted to feature here today, Skullgirls. Yes, anime themed, but a very cartoony version, a more of a comic book feel to this one. Probably some of the best fighting mechanics on mobile. Skullgirls is a fun game, keeps it light, but also has a very active and seriousness to it that's going to keep you wanting to play. I mean, you're going to want to win, and you're going to want to get all the different characters to fight with because they're awesome. But if you want platformer brawlers, Brawlhalla is the best. You have tons of characters you could play as, all with different types of attacks, melee, range attacks, types of movement that is unmatched, and battles that are just super fun. If you played Super Smash Bros. And enjoyed that style game, Brawlhalla does the same type of thing with a different AI and a different IP. It's really just so much fun, especially when you want to play with friends as well. Farlight 84 takes Battle Royale, puts it into a more comic book futuristic style game that's very light in nature, and it takes you into combat that's actually a ton of fun. Inside of this game, you're going to notice that it has a very Borderlands looking feel. It just looks different than any other games that are out here right now. In addition to that, weapons are awesome. You get jetpacks thrown on so you could really float through the skies, and you can play as mechs inside of the game. The combat is just a lot of fun. It's a great Battle Royale style game, and I love the graphics. I've also been a huge fan of Borderlands forever. And to finish off the list, we have Call of Duty Mobile. All right, guys, Warzone isn't out yet. It's coming soon, but Call of Duty Mobile is the leader in the space as of right now, and it very well may remain the leader after Warzone drops. It's a great shooting game that takes you back to the olden days playing it on Xbox or PlayStation. It literally has all of the same features that you had on console, now on mobile, and really a very well-rounded game that's fun for everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on tomorrow's top 10 video.